Psych Radio Show. I'm a medicinal my cannabis comedian enthusiast here with Trip Boone. Richard Eastman, come back in while we have a minute. I would not bring you back on.
Yeah, I'll try to be brief about where I left off.
It's okay. We got 10 minutes left, which means I got 8 minutes of talking and 2 minutes of plugging. I want you to have that 8 minutes of
Well,
talking.
we were talking about, the drug war and Nixon in 1970, and I was in business with this general in Guadalajara, and Nixon Operation Intercept and the DEA, and they chased the hippies, and ultimately I grew up and went down to Hollywood and left San Francisco because I wanted some sunshine. And I lost track of Dennis for so many years that when I almost died in 1994 from AIDS, I went up to his 1444 Market Street place, and it was totally amazing. It was 5 floors, 25,000 patients, and my friend Cousin Vinny, who's a character, was in the jewelry business, and we made the little pins for Dennis with the cross and the leaf that's on my hat, the famous legendary pin. And we made thousands of them. I think we made 15,000 of these little pins. And we were trying to sell a few for $5, but we gave most of them away. Now they're so rare that I hear they're going for $50 on the internet or whatever. I don't even have them anymore. But ultimately, it was never about money with Dennis and I, or Harvey, or any of the pioneers of pot. It was all about freedom. Freedom to choose what you want to put in your body. Freedom to be free from disease and illnesses and headaches and backaches and women. Queen Victoria used it for PMS. Okay, guys can use it for headaches, backaches. But AIDS and cancer and glaucoma and MS were the big 4.
Now, Richard, you're like a rare case because you were diagnosed with AIDS.
And I was dying.
How many years ago?
That was 21 years ago.
And you
I'm
are
a long-term survivor.
You're a rock star.
I should talk about a little bit about what happened. I had 22 T cells then. Now I got about 700 T cells. I'm undetectable. I'm the guinea pig for Magic Johnson because he had 5 Dodgers, and I know Magic. And the doctor that saved Magic and I, he died in a cab in Hong Kong a few months ago. Supposedly of a heart attack. He was around the same age as me, but I think they murdered him. I'm a cash cow, like all the 1.5 million other Americans living with HIV. That means the government pays $39,000 a year for my pills. Times 1.5 million people, what is that, $1 trillion? Why would they want to cure us? Same with cancer. We live in a nation of death. They don't want to cure people. They don't want you to live a long time. And marijuana is anti-aging. I've been smoking it, like I said earlier, for 51 years. I'm going to be 62. Dennis is 70. We're both young guys. I mean, we did the Hotel Normandy 5 years ago. America's first marijuana hotel. It was on CNN, the LA Times, 105 rooms. It was a dream, staying in his bed and breakfast here because Cozy Castro Castle. One night we were smoking a joint and we were having a pipe dream. And I said, Dennis, we should open up another one. On Valentine's Day 5 years ago, they called me up and said, come on over, Rich, we got the Hotel Normandy. I couldn't believe it. 105
That's like a dream come true.
It was a dream come true, and we had it for and we had it for a year. And Dennis and I were running through the hotel, and we had room 420, and it was $50 a night, and all the weed you could smoke, and pet friendly. And now, when we lost it or it fell out of our hands, Dennis told me to tell people we are in possession of our body for a certain amount of time, just like we were in possession of the Hotel Normandy for 1 year. And when he had the stroke there, I am the man that went and got him, dragged him in a cab to get him to the Cedars-Sinai, and then he complained about being in there for 30 days. It cost $180,000, but the VA paid for that. I'm not dishing on my friend, but wouldn't you do that? Now, if Dennis was the president of marijuana, and I was the vice president of marijuana, not saying we are, and I didn't like him, I could have went back to sleep, right?
Right.
And he was paralyzed, and he couldn't get out of bed. Okay? I rushed him there. We got him in the hospital. He was in there for a few weeks. It was an expensive vacation, but he's here today. And we agreed in front of the White House in 2009 that we would finish the mission together. And in the military, I wasn't in Vietnam. I was a little too young, but supposedly I came from a military family. Whether I told you earlier I fell out of a plane, or they threw me out of a plane, or they took me to the military hospital and all that mumbo jumbo, it all boils down to, yeah, we're all human beings, but not all of us care about the plants, the animals, the planet. And my words, my dying words will be, he did it for the patients, or I did it for the plants, the planet, and the people. And ultimately, I believe High Times. Well, I like to tell people now the United States government paid High Times to call me the Green Lantern, because that's how they found out when I was a child that my blood was worth more than gold. Not to say it's tainted with AIDS, and if I was to cut myself and you were already exposed, no. But what if they found something in my blood that saved Magic Johnson, that saved millions of people, and then they profited on it and made trillions of dollars, and perhaps they didn't want to tell me, because that's how this government works. There's a good government, there's a bad government.
I deal with a lot of other countries too, and hearing the difference in the healthcare that we have here compared to the healthcare that is out there that they're getting in their country,
Right.
we're not getting half of, and they're getting,
Right.
we pay so much.
Even in Cuba, there was talks of a cure for HIV and AIDS or whatever. But I want to take the final moment to plug the smoking at the White House. John Pilka, who is one of the pioneers of medical marijuana, is a young man that's going to be 50 years young. And 35 years ago, when he was 15, he took over from Dana Beal, and they've been doing the smoking at the White House for 45 years. And since Barack Obama became president, they wanted me on the permit. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I make it more medical. Like Dennis said, all use is medical. And that is the truth. I don't knock initiatives. I don't endorse initiatives because I believe Mr. Perone, Dennis Perone's Proposition 215, gave me a life to fight for SB 420 and to finish this mission of rescheduling marijuana across America. And as long as I'm alive, and Mr. Perone are alive, I will guarantee you, to our dying breath, we will fight for the freedom of a plant called cannabis that saved his life, saved my life, and saved millions of lives all around this planet. And we will fight the evil people that want to sell alcohol and tobacco and antidepressants and heroin and crystal meth and all that other crap, because marijuana don't kill nobody. And those are government statistics. And join us at the Smoking at the White House on July 4th, 2015, for a wonderful concert at the Lincoln Memorial, an all-day event, a march from the White House. The rumor in Washington, D.C. now is Richard Eastman going to give out marijuana like he does in Los Angeles. Like Melissa said, I gave out 50 pounds of marijuana in the last 4 years since Occupy L.A. Dennis Perone and I gave out
in one lump.
not in one lump. 3 days a week. Dennis Perone and I gave out 4 pounds of weed 4 years ago, and then a pound a month. It all adds up to 50 pounds. But ultimately, on the 4th of July, I might give out seeds because in Washington, D.C., it's legal to grow, legal to possess, not to give away, and ultimately, join me on the 45th annual Smoking at the White House, July 4th, 2015, in Lafayette Park, when we show this nation that freedom is in a little plant called cannabis. My name is Richard Eastman, live at the telethon with Melissa Ballin and friends, and what's your name again?
Medicinal Mike.
Medicinal Mike, thank you for letting me come back on. I know I was dragging it out with the spaceship stuff and everything.
I'd love to have you on for a full hour on the link to the action.
Well, you have to see my agent, William Morris.
I've got lunch.
All right. But God bless America, and I want to sing a little song. I'll smoke 2 joints in the morning, and I'll smoke 2 joints in the afternoon. And then I'm gonna smoke 2 joints again when we end this song, and I know it's coming soon. So Medicinal Mike, thanks for having me on your show. And some of you didn't know that Mr. Eastman can sing a tune. So let's get the greed out of weed, my friends. Oh, let's get the greed out of weed, my friends. And that's it.
Level of education for the cannabis counter. They still had you. I had you in as background. I put you in as a background song.
Well, there you go.
Trick Boone from
Jimmy Kimmel.
CCHIRadio.com. Big thanks again to Weedmaps.com at 619 Tattoo with Tim Lincoln. Season 5 of Ink Masters. He's our new sponsor. Big shout out to him. I want to shout out to Plus Magazine in Las Vegas. And who else? Who's our sponsors, Trip?
Achilleos and Annie's. Drops of Life.
Come on, spit them out.
JackHererHemp.
Kushite cookies. Oh yeah, the Kushite cookies.
Andy, big shout out to Andy. You want to say something, Andy? Here, let Andy real quick. Give Andy a few seconds. We got seconds, Andy. You always right at the last minute of the show is when you call in. Literally, you got seconds.
Shout out to everybody out here over at Dennis's house and everybody out there listening. Everybody else on Vape Radio. Vape, or are you Vape? Smoky Hash. I want to give a shout out to Medicinal Mike and congratulations on your new baby. And I don't know who else. And HempCon San Francisco. Baby Bash will be there, and I can't wait. I took a bunch of pictures on the way here of the stuff that's out there. Alright, thank you guys.
Check that out.
Alright, bye.
Thanks for listening. Trey Boone again.
Thank you for having me.
CCHIRadio.com. You can hear him all the time with the Ganja Queen. She's a pretty face. He's the brain. Or she's the brains of pretty. Thanks for listening. KNSJ. Disclaimer. Not everything you say is necessarily. Use another radio weed mask and this radio or anybody who's KNSJ. Thanks for listening. Live and remote. Hashtag we can speak planet. And the edibles have kicked in.